let's be
Oh,
clear.
we've come to it again. We've come to it again. 'Tis the season of six packs. Please send me more articles to my social media feed of how I can get a shredded six pack. Men's journal, men's
Yeah.
fitness,
Well,
men's health.
It's time to put on trunks and not wear a shirt. I want to have six-pack abs. I
Oh,
think is the dad bod over? Has the world said?
It
You know
depends
what?
if you have kids.
Nope, dad bod's fully in place.
Oh, you got to sleep 3 hours last night. What do you want to eat? Not that.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh, no, but I just get a kick out of this. It's like, well, how many more years do we have to go with the six-pack ab trend where everyone still forgets that you have to eat like insanely less food to not be so chubby?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because while yeah, if you do these workouts, you're going to increase the strength and increase the look of
Right,
those
dude.
abs.
What do we got? This guy's super insanely shredded. We've got, what is
the-
this? Men's health, men's fitness.
That's a perfect picture. Stay at that picture. On the left, you've got a guy that has arguably much more body fat.
It's the same dude. What are you talking about?
That's what I mean. On the left, he's got more body fat. On the right, he's got even less body fat. I mean,
It's
he's
the same picture. He's just shredded and flexing.
That's what I mean. He's low body fat is what makes those abs look like. They
Oh
do.
yeah, I thought you meant like he was losing weight to look like that. As
No,
if, like, one
if
was
you
a
looked on
before
the
and
right,
after.
it looks like he's dehydrated more than the one on the left.
Yeah, he probably just put on a different hat. And look at it here. Abs become more visible the leaner you get. But this may not be sustainable. I guarantee you, I might be wrong, Cliff, but I bet you this is probably done the same day. I'm just
Now,
saying it's probably
Let's
done
go
the
here.
same day.
I watched an interesting article talking about specifically what ab workouts to do, and I was surprised because somebody took down what are you going for, and I was like, that's intriguing. And the reason was,
what did he say?
so this girl was going to a trainer to try and get a more hourglass looking figure, and
Okay.
she was already pretty low as far as like weight.
Okay.
She was in her ideal weight range. This trainer said, "Don't worry about the obliques. We're not going to do any oblique exercises." And the
Skinnier.
exactly, and that was her thing. We're going aesthetically thin, which means we're not going to thicken you left to right by working the obliques. We're only going to work the rectus
Well,
abdominis.
there's a reason why there's some unhealthy practices from people. Like you don't eat a couple of days before the beach. It's because you look significantly thinner. I mean, you get a little dehydrated. Your body's not holding all those carbohydrates. You're not holding all the extra water from the carbs.
I'm not bloating. I don't have gas in my
Yeah,
body.
It doesn't change your body fat though. Unless it's a prolonged amount of time. But I always get a kick out of that. I feel like people, as they continue to get older and older and older, you play these water games and these short-term fat loss deals, but you don't really ever lose any fat. You get zapped by a simple body fat measure. You do the skin calibers. You do, if you're like fancy and want to go do a DECA scan or something like that, sure, go ahead.
Right.
I think that probably 9 times out of 10, people would find that they never lost any body fat in their 3 or 4 week deal that they were doing, or it is a insignificant amount that would shock the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in that case, because they are visually seeing what they want. So
Got thinner.
So it's
Jeans
working.
fit better.
Right. So it's working. Well, maybe that's really the goal. My
Sure.
goal is not to lose body fat percentage anymore.
But
My
isn't
goal,
it weird how it all just comes back so fast?
my goal is to just dehydrate.
Yeah. I mean, let's put it. To be honest, though, to me, you could be a little bit more straightforward. Are you want to look good for like just one weekend? Well, I'll tell you what you can do to just
Yeah.
significantly look better that
Yeah,
weekend.
you want to fit in that
Beca-
dress for that wedding that you're going to this weekend out at the beach?
Right. But if you want to like truly lose some body fat, let's not get it twisted. What you're doing
Is
is
not gonna
no
accomplish
bueno. Or, I remember I used to work with these, groups of women, and they'd come in and they would want to see like instant flat stomachs and all that stuff. And
Right.
most of them would complain about actually getting a little thicker. They start eating better.
Right.
They start eating super healthy, but they're working out harder than they ever worked out in their whole life.
Right.
So their waist isn't just instant. It's almost the other way. It's like,
But
I don't
on
know
top
that
of
I'm
that-
really getting a flatter stomach.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's because your muscle foundation is getting bigger and you're actually
Which
not
is pushing
losing
the fat out.
Right.
So once it's a weird thing because the scale is deceptive anyway.
Yeah.
You increase muscle, you're increasing mass because muscle is easy knowledge.
But in the short, it's still the water retention game. Even if
Absolutely.
you start working out the first 2 weeks, let's be
But
honest.
that's not what this article is
No,
about. This article wants
no.
to tell me what ab exercise I'm going to do
Yeah.
to get six-pack abs.
Don't get me wrong, though. This dude's shredded.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's shredded, and he's done all the tricks. And I'm sure if you talk to that dude on the phone, he could tell you every which way. But we
What's so
always
funny
see
is these right here. I don't know that I would like
weighted sit-ups.
the lying leg raise. That is long time been shown that is not your ab activator in the first couple inches of it. It's all leg thing.
Unfortunately, it can still be good, and some of it's just preference too. If this guy says that he likes these and he looks like that, let's
Sure.
not get it twisted. His body fat is so low.
Whatever he's doing is going to show up.
Yeah, and that's why it looks great. Now, there is a lot of abdominal training that you can do to get much bigger abs, bulkier, stronger, get some sculpt.
Puffy
if
looking
you don't
abs.
have like a middle section in your abs, by training them and lifting super, super heavy, you can bulk up your abs a little bit. But it's the food that makes it so you can actually see them.
Right, and the other weird part is, and it's there. It says it right there.
Oh, at the
Genetics
bottom.
play such a big role.
We
And-
got a reminder here.
which is good because there's a reality that your abs are still made out of the same stuff that the rest of your body is made
Sure.
out of. So if you've got abs that don't have a very tight fascia between them, it doesn't matter how strong you get, you're not going to have those bubbly,
You gotta
ripply
se-
six-pack.
Yeah, the separation aspect.
That is 100% how is your muscle built.
I would venture to say, though, probably 1,000% of the time. 1,000 out of
Which is
1,001.
10
Okay.
times more than 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's a lot. But more often than not, literally, if anybody actually lowered their fat low enough, I would probably guess that most everybody probably has a decent six-pack.
I would
The
agree.
problem is the genetic level at which gives you a six-pack is different than what gives someone else a six-pack.
It's true because I could be sitting here at like 15% body fat, and you could see a pretty good six-pack on me, and that would have to do with where do I carry my weight, all those sorts of things.
You're lucky.
Whereas the next person might have the same scenario at 7% body fat and still not quite see what they wanted to see.
Yeah, so I tested, I tracked every single calorie I ate for, I want to say like 2 or 3 years in a row. Missed stuff here and there, right?
Sure.
But generally for like 2 or 3 years in a row. Worked out all the time with my good buddy Carl, and we did skin calibers on each other. This whole time we measured everything we did.
You're
so
doing science. Like, we're not just, I did a thing. Like, you're trying as
Oh, yeah.
scientifically as you can to record this.
yeah, so we were recording everything, and I had my body fat kind of as low as like a 7 or 8. And then we'd sit around 12 to 15, sometimes 17 when everybody, you let stuff
Which
get
to
out of
be
whack.
when Carl leans out, he's at 1.5%, right?
No, he looks like
He
it.
looks like it.
I mean, he's 65 now and just shredded.
That's what I mean, like-
Not currently. Not currently, but when
he
we were doing
leans out,
this. Yeah.
he legitimately looks like that picture. Looks like a guy who has like 0.2% body fat.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, though. It's like neither one of us could get a shredded six-pack until you were just... And I say until. Never really even had the discipline enough to get down into the show stuff. I never really was interested in that. I know a lot of people love that kind of
Sure.
stuff. But I think there for like a week or two, we touched 7, touched 8. And if you did it on the DECA stuff, it was probably like an 11, But it was skinfold calibers that we were consistently doing
Right.
every time. So we generally
You
were
at least
seeing
saw
the
a
movement.
reduction in body fat percent.
Yeah, so whether it was truly 7 or whether it was 9 or wherever the real number was, I am pretty freaking low to get
Right.
a six-pack and never even had like the discipline to truly get shredded. Just
But the crazy
Didn't
part
care
is,
enough.
I remember during that time when you were doing that and when Carl was doing that, like the muscle around the arms, the muscle around the chest, the muscle, like the definition around all those areas looked really tight and really sculpted.
yeah, you
And
can
yet-
get all the vascularity, you get all those things, but your genetics play like a massive role on where the fat is at the last stages. And if you're a stomach guy,
That's where it's going to be.
it's a bummer.
So the dad bod should be encouraging. I'm
Yeah,
encouraged.
yeah.
I can get shredded out here. I'm still going to look a little
Jack
jiggly
from the
here.
chest up.
Woo!
I love all the commercials lately. Have you seen all the social media stuff?
Are we
where,
talking
like,
about the T-shirt
the
commercials?
T-shirt
Yes!
guy, like when did we get to a stage out here that it's like, hey guys, don't worry about your discipline. We're gonna cut these T-shirts to make you look like you're
good.
more jacked and less fluffy.
And all it's gonna do is we're gonna tug it in at the armpit so you look like you got a big old chest.
which is unfortunate because haven't worn the shirt. Don't know for sure.
I'm afraid to
But
chafe.
you go grabbing that stuff up top, it's a little uncomfortable. I don't know, but
It's not. I'm not looking for that shirt. That's for sure.
yeah, I do get a kick out of that though. You too can have a muscular dad bod if you just buy this T-shirt.
No, dad bod, man. I'll tell you what though. Article aside, genetics aside, all of this aside, I think what we're really looking for, most people is I want to look my best during a season where I'm not going to have as many clothes on. And I think that there are exercises a person can do, but ultimately it's a habits on eating thing.
Sure, it's long term. You got a long term, cut your cows, drop the fat, and rather than doing water swings with restricting your carbohydrates, water swings and working out and not working out and seeing the scale, it takes a really long time to pull some fat off. I know
Which
that
in reality means that I shouldn't be reading these articles now. I should be reading these articles in February.
Oh shoot! No, you should be reading them now for next year.
Okay, fair enough. This is a 2023 article. Is what I'm reading.
For most people, they got like real life issues that occur. You got weddings to go to. I mean, this is like
I'm gonna have
long,
a cheat meal all of November.
Not everybody's showing up for a show in 10 weeks, and they're like balls to the wall. They're like, well, it is Friday, and
Man.
Friday means I go here. You know.
My buddy did invite me out for a great dinner with him and his wife. I'm probably gonna overeat there.
Yeah. I don't know though. No, kudos to that dude. That dude's shredded. He's worked his tail off. But let's not get it twisted. If you're trying to get a 6-pack, it's called calorie restriction.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.